show.
The Toronto Raptors are 1 win away from the NBA Finals. I repeat, the Toronto Raptors are 1 win away from the NBA Finals.
Up or down on Kevin Durant returning during the finals, whether LeBron will be a successful recruiter, and courtside beer chugging.
And we've got your top 10 plays for the past 7 days.
It's Friday, May 24th. The starter starts now.
Good evening, Sweet World, and welcome to The Starters, presented by Jack Daniel's Old No. 7 and Tennessee Honey. I'm J.E. Skeets, alongside me as always, Tass Mellis, and over yonder, that's the bearded one. That's Trey Kirby. Hey, yo! Trey, what's up?
Well, I'm here at the internet looking for your best tweets at hashtag The Starters, and guys, the Raptors got a huge win last night thanks to a superb performance by Kawhi Leonard, and after the game, he hit us up with an incredibly literal walk-off interview.
How do you beat the Bucks 4 times in a row?
I don't know. I haven't done it. We're taking it one game at a time, and I'm just excited that we got the win tonight.
With 1 win away until a trip to the NBA Finals, what's this team's mentality with history on the line?
I haven't even gotten in the locker room yet. We just finished the game, but we wanted to come out here, get the win. We weathered the storm early, and I'm gonna see what we're gonna be talking about in the locker room.
You gotta love the locker room logistics. He hasn't been there yet, so he doesn't know what they're talking about, but he's going there to figure out what they're gonna talk about. I love it.
Yep.
And it brings us to today's question. What is the best NBA walk-off interview? The ones right on the court after the game, like for instance, the time Ron Artest got the late Craig Sager to shout out Queensbridge.
It was aggressive, they was hitting us, but it had to be a point in time where I used my body, and it worked for me, and it worked for me right there.
Unlike me here.
Building, Queensbridge in the building, you already know. Don't say Queensbridge, say Queensbridge.
Queensbridge.
Yeah.
Queensbridge, where they don't play with a shot clock.
Yeah, we want to hear from you. So let us know on Twitter, what is the best NBA walk-off interview? Send them to us at hashtag The Starters. We'll hear from you later.
All right, get your tweets in on tonight's show. We're going to discuss the latest update with Kevin Durant's calf injury. We got the top 10 plays of the week. Trey's going to fill in for Lee with the very solid play, or something similar, I'm told. But let's start here with a little true or false. Eastern Conference Finals, Game 5, baby. Take it away.
Kawhi Leonard might not know what it feels like to beat the Bucks 4 straight times, but after last night, he knows what it's like to beat them 3 straight. And all it takes, apparently, is Kawhi scoring 35 points, including 15 in the fourth, and dishing out a career-high 9 assists. Guys, true or false? Kawhi single-handedly won Game 5.
It's a team sport, but yeah, he did. 24 years the Raptors in their history haven't had a guy like this whatsoever. He's steady. He's steady in the post-game interviews. He's unshakable, really. And it was in that fourth quarter where he was that rock, where he had a 15-point quarter at the beginning of it. He hit a couple step-back threes just to ice it for the Raptors, just to make everyone feel comfortable, because there have been fourth quarters, as I said, through that 24-year history where Raptors and the Raptors faithful have felt a little shaky, have had to clench their butts sitting there watching this team because they haven't had a steady player like that. It's a superstar player. He's the best player in their playoff history already, only 3 rounds in. Yes, it was him. It was him. And he hit 4 shots in that fourth quarter. But as Trey said, it was a lot of the dishes and a lot of the other guys contributing as well. But it starts with that guy.
And then playing elite defense on
Right.
the other end and forcing some turnovers and getting going the other way. I think this is sort of true, and I know we'll get to Van Vliet and what he did for the team and all that. But Kawhi Leonard is really like a LeBron James, a Kevin Durant, these elite superstars where as long as the team keeps these guys in a game, for 3 quarters, for 40 minutes, and then you can say, hey, go close this, go end this. We'll give you the rock, we'll follow you. And that's what these guys do, and Kawhi Leonard is in that mix, from especially what he can do on both sides of the ball. So yeah, the 35, 9, and 7. He's now given Raptors fans, 4 heritage minutes, heritage moments over the last 20 days or so when it comes to like game-winning shots and just clutch performances. And even, in this series, in the Sixers series, the guy is a machine. And his quote after the game gave me goosebumps when he said, "I'm not afraid of the moment, I enjoy it." Most Raptors fans and Raptors players in the past have been afraid of the moment. And we've seen it time and time again. And he truly is not, and he backs up those words with these performances. It's wild. He took him across the finish line, but Van Vliet hitting these 7 threes and now playing great in these last 2 games since he had his second child. I wasn't going to have kids with Nora, but I'm starting to reconsider here.
Wow.
If it turns you into Klay Thompson. Fred Van Vliet is suddenly Klay Thompson here. 7 threes on the road in sort of a must-win, a pivotal Game 5 in a conference finals. That's incredible. This guy was money from downtown.
Nick Nurse deserves a lot of credit for sticking with Fred VanVleet because he had hit 8 threes through 15 playoff games to start the playoffs. Through game 4 of this round, he had only hit 8 threes, shooting 19%. Then in game 5, he hit 3 threes, and then
well, game 4 he hit 3 threes, and then game 5, 7.
Right, excuse me. Yeah, he exploded from game 4. He was feeling it. Everybody was calling for his head. Nick Nurse stuck with him, and then 7, a playoff high, a regular season high. He's never hit 7 threes in a basketball game ever. So a lot of credit goes to Nick Nurse. A lot of credit goes to Kawhi Leonard for finding him. In game 4, I think it dawned on Fred VanVleet to stop thinking, to be like Kawhi Leonard, go back to what you are. Go to your roots. You put in the work. Just shoot the ball. He came in 8 seconds into the first possession off the bench. He took a shot. And yes, I think just the steadiness of Nick Nurse, Kawhi Leonard has trickled down to Fred VanVleet and to Kyle Lowry as well. Lowry has saved this team through a few quarters where Kawhi hasn't been awesome and has been injured.
And VanVleet hit the huge one in this game 5 when Brook Lopez had hit a 3 on the other end. It was a tie game, like very, very late. And then with about 2 minutes and change to go, Kawhi finds VanVleet and he hits another one. That was a backbreaker for the Bucks fans out there. All right, Trey, next one.
The Bucks hadn't lost 3 straight games all season until now. Because after the Raptors switched Kawhi onto Giannis, the Bucks offense kind of dried up as Giannis was held under his season scoring average in each of these past 3 games, and Milwaukee shot just 31% combined from 3 during the losses. Guys, true or false? The Bucks need to tweak their offense. Just tweak it.
I think this is true. I think it's going to be more difficult than it is just to say, just tweak it, change it. Because what happened, you said it there, Trey. Kawhi has guarded Giannis for a majority of these possessions now through games 3, 4, and 5, all resulting in Raptors wins. They have to find a way here, and maybe it's just more pick and roll to try and get a switch of somebody else, with Giannis guarding Giannis, So that's what they need to try. But even that, you still have Marc Gasol, a former Defensive Player of the Year. Serge Ibaka led the league for years in blocks. Pascal Siakam long. They've got just so many guys, and so many guys are throwing at Giannis and making this wall. Some of those fourth quarter stops, chef's kiss from these guys, the Raptors. Like, their defense is elite right now. That's why they're winning these games. Kawhi's the closer, I get all that, but they're winning a lot of these games because of defense. So I don't know what Bud does. I think it is trying to do something to free up Giannis to get Kawhi off him a little bit more.
It's ugly to watch for Bucks fans because it doesn't look like their old Bucks teams. They're really stagnant. And in the regular season and through the first couple of rounds, you could just give Giannis the ball up top, and he would find a way through that wall or through that one guy with a little bit of movement. But now, yes, they're just lining up and they're stopping him. I think they kind of have to take Giannis off the ball a little bit to get it a little less stagnated and get him involved in pick and rolls just to see things moving. Because, it's like a lot of offenses in the league. When you give it to your best player, you just kind of stand around and watch it. And that seems to be what's happening. Get him moving. Everybody starts moving, and they start playing, like PJ Tucker said when James Harden went down with the Houston Rockets, we start playing basketball again.
Right.
And maybe that happens with Giannis off the ball a little bit, but with the plan to get it to Giannis a little bit later in the possession so he's got a full head of steam coming at the Raptors. Because they're just off. You see at the end of the games, they can't even defensive rebound. Because when we're talking here, we make it sound like it was a blowout.
No.
But it came down to a couple of possessions and really 2 huge offensive rebounds by Marc Gasol. Marc Gasol started these offensive rebounds within the last 2 minutes. It was a really tight game. He made those happen, and then it was done.
Yeah.
You can't give away offensive rebounds in your house in the last couple minutes. You just can't.
The Raptors defense, they're not just building this wall on Giannis. They're also running these three-point shooters in the Bucks. All these three-point shooters that they surround Giannis with, they're running them off the line as much as they possibly can.
Yep.
The Bucks throughout the regular season Giannis was getting his 30, and then he was firing out to all these shooters, and they just shot a ton of threes. Well, this series, they're not getting up the attempts that I know Coach Bud and the squad wants to, and the credit has to go to these very smart, intelligent, locked-in defenders on the Raps. Hey, they're told, okay, Bledsoe, leave him. Giannis, you'll live with that, him shooting threes. But Brogdon, Hill, Lopez, Biritic, run them off the three-point line. Close out aggressively. We'll have your back behind you. And it's making these Bucks shooters think a little bit and struggle, I think, a little bit from line, because now this is 5 games where they haven't shot many threes or all that well, 32% or under. That was actually their best three-point shooting game for the Bucks in this series last night.
The Bucks hit more shots than the Raptors last night. They had 7 more shots, but they weren't taking threes because of that Raps defense. On the other end, number one, it's stagnant. If it's stagnant, though, find Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton's got to get more shots because he's one of the few guys that can create on this team. And Malcolm Brogdon inserted into the starting lineup. was
Did you
good.
like it? Yeah.
He was good, but again, I think he's in that mindset where they're all sort of panicking and they're all sort of saying, I got to be aggressive. I got to do this on my own. I'm going to make this happen. And so the ball movement kind of goes away. And the three-point shooting as a product of the lack of ball movement, that doesn't happen because you need to move the ball against a great defense to get three-point shots. So, yeah, it made sense, and we'll probably see him again, but a little bit of movement.
I hate to say it, but these Bucks are looking like the old Raptors a little bit here in these last couple of games. I'm just throwing it out there. All right, Trey, final one.
So the Raptors have a 3-2 lead and home court advantage, and my friends Tass and Skeets will be in attendance Saturday. It's the perfect recipe for a special Game 6 in the 6, but it's the Raptors we're talking about. And teams in the Bucks' exact scenario are 8-7 in do-or-die Game 6. Is true or false? The Raptors will win Game 6. People from Milwaukee likely watching the show.
I believe it's true. I do not think this one is going to Game 7, baby. I think it ends on Saturday night, not just because we're going to be in attendance and cheering our faces off like we're Drake. You thought Drake was obnoxious. Wait till you see me there. But no, I guess the reason why is the Raptors didn't play an incredible Game 5 to pull out the win. They shot 35%. That's not great. And they still pulled it out. And you said, I mean, they hit threes. They hit 18 threes. That was big, of course, with the Bucks struggling once again. But I think with that defense locked in the way it is, and maybe having a little bit better of a shooting night at home, maybe Danny Green suddenly has a breakout game. You know, we saw it with Fred VanVleet.
Wow.
Maybe it's Danny Green in
You're
Game 6.
asking a lot.
I'm locking it in. Danny Green's going to sort of have a little breakout performance here. Either a timely three in a close game or a couple go down for him. I can see it. The guy's a 45% three-point shooter in the regular season. At some point, he's going to break out. But I think it's because they didn't play up to their full potential here to pull us out. I think they can play better.
The Bucks didn't play to their full potential.
No, but I think the defense, they're shook a little bit. I don't think they can figure out how to score right now against this Raptors defense.
They have been rattled. Of course I'm going with the Toronto Raptors.
All right.
I'm going to be in attendance.
They don't
not cheering for the Milwaukee Bucks.
You're not wearing your Bucks Giannis jersey?
Maybe I shall underneath. I can be a Lee Ellis.
Put this whole episode on the bulletin board, Bucks.
Yeah, that's right. When we return, are the Warriors downplaying the severity of KD's injury?
The Starters is presented by Jack Daniel's Old No. 7 and Tennessee Honey.
Welcome back to the Starters, right into the up-down report. First one, guys. The Warriors announced yesterday that Kevin Durant is unlikely to be ready for Game 1 of the Finals as he continues to recover from a right calf injury. KD hasn't played since Game 5 of the Western Conference Semis way back on May 8th, and he still hasn't been cleared for on-court work. Steve Kerr does say he expects him back at some point during the Finals, but I'm going to ask you, are you up or down on Durant returning at all for these Finals? Some people are skeptical that he's even going to come back at all. What do you? Ooh,
yeah, medium.
I'm hitting you with the sideways skeptical because, the Warriors are definitely going to want him back. KD is definitely going to want to come back. They're going to need him facing Giannis or Kawhi in the Finals. That being said, 4 weeks from the injury would bring him back either Game 3 or Game 4, depending on how close they're going to push it. So if this goes even longer, he said this is a worse injury than his previous calf strains, which kept him out about 4 weeks. If it goes to Week 5, that puts him right before Game 6. Will the Finals go to 6 games? Who knows?
I would like to see him come back because he's a big part of this team. But if I'm being honest, it's a far more fair fight without him to start this. If I was writing the script, I'd like to see the Warriors get down without him the first couple games. And Kevin Durant comes back, then we see what happens. Can he pull them back? That would be a great story and a great redemption story for Kevin Durant, who everybody seems to just rag on over and over and over again. So that would be it. If I would write a script, that's how I would write it.
Okay. So you have him coming back
I think
at some
so.
point. And as do you, at some extent.
Yeah, as long as the series goes long enough, I think it's pretty realistic he shows up.
All right, let's hear from you guys on Twitter, by the way. Hashtag the Starters, thumbs up or thumbs down. Our next one, according to ESPN's Brian Windhorst, LeBron James has started his recruiting efforts early. Quote, says Windhorst, I have heard he has had contact with Kawhi Leonard. I have heard he has had contact with Jimmy Butler. End quote there. Windhorst also says that Kyrie Irving is now more open to playing with LeBron. Great timing. Today, LeBron liked a Photoshop pic of Kyrie Irving in a Lakers uniform on Instagram.
I saw the article about the liked Instagram pic.
Are you up or down on LeBron successfully being able to recruit players, the star players, to come join him there in LA?
It's LeBron James. That's the best tool they have, is LeBron James going out and recruiting for them.
Right.
If you're getting an interview talking to the king, you are going to listen. Okay. You're going to bend the knee and lend an ear. And that being said, those guys you mentioned, at first blush, nah, they're not going. Kyrie's not going. Jimmy Butler's not going. But you know what? Kevin Durant went to the Warriors.
True.
He marches to the beat of his own drummer. Another guy that does that, Kyrie Irving. I could see that happening.
So of these three, if you had to sort of rank them,
I think so.
He's more open.
He's open. He's open. It could be sort of like LeBron and D Wade in Miami, but the roles have changed. LeBron now is the D Wade of Miami, and Kyrie is the young LeBron coming in, maybe taking over eventually from his sensei.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, Jimmy Butler is the guy that makes a lot of sense. It seems like he would like the LA Lakers lifestyle, hang out with Mark Wahlberg during the day, hang out with LeBron during the night, and then go on Instagram and have some fun, I suppose. He just seems like the kind of guy who would like the lights and the pressure of playing next to LeBron.
And the drama.
Oh boy, he would be making the drama, enjoying the drama, drinking it up, having a reality TV show, I'm sure. Jimmy Butler seems like a fit for the Lakers.
That's a good point. He's got an acting career. It seems to fit. But what about the dollar bills? He can get more from Philadelphia.
That's a good point.
Would they be offering the max? It sure seems that way. After the playoffs that he had,
Right.
it would be difficult to say, hey, Tobias Harris, you're now the guy. It would seem like Jimmy Butler's going to get a lot more money from the Lakers, or from the Sixers, I should say.
Going to be a fun summer, no doubt. All right, final one here, guys. This was at the game last night. Little chugging contest in Wisconsin. Packers lineman David Bakhtiari got things started by sculling 2 beers. Very fast, but after he challenged his own quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, things, they slowed down here a little. Taking his time. Oh, I couldn't even finish it. Guys, are you up or down on Milwaukee's beer chugging challenge? There's a lot more beers being chugged in that game. Thumbs up. Everybody's up on it.
Yeah, I just honestly, Aaron Rodgers has been killing the Bears for as long as I've been watching the Bears and he's been in the league. So it's nice to see him take an L in public like that. I like to see him losing to his own offensive lineman. Because once it comes season time, he'll be slinging that pigskin all up and down the gridiron.
Oh, this guy's
a maniac.
Just crazy.
He's got the crazy eyes. It's like Game of Thrones is back with David Bakhtiari. He could be a Dothraki for sure.
That's true. We also had the Brewers outfielder, Christian Yelich. He got in on the action too. He was chugging beers. There was fans. There he is.
Look at this guy.
Look at that grip.
This is the NL MVP.
Not bad. Not bad.
Hey, he's got the claw. He's got a bit of...
Oh, he said, was it a full
that was
cup?
yeah.
Was it a full cup, I believe he was saying.
Or maybe it was a small...
Let's go!
Yeah, guys,
Cheers.
chug your water.
Bottoms
Race it up. It's a big cup. Wow. Straight H2O.
I feel like Lee Ellis.
All right. Got a little bonus pick and payoff there. Sorry, Tess. When we come back, though, we're going to count down the top 10 plays from the past 7 days.
Anybody got a garbage can?
Apparently, you can get drunk if you drink too much water. Welcome back to the starters. Time to count down the top 10 plays from the past 7 days. Let's start at number 10. That makes sense. This one's for Ned Flanders, because Giannis going left hand here against the Raptors. The southpaw spike.
Oakley dokley.
He's called it. Yeah. Look at the height he gets here. Punches that thing down. He's mean mugging.
At number 9, it's almost Stephen Curry time. The NBA Finals when our favorite singer-rapper comes out.
Woo!
Steph is feeling good going into the finals. Going for 37, 36, 37, 36 in those 4 games against Portland. And
Chilling.
Yeah. At number 8, another Warriors player here, Quinn Cook, with the little head fake on Zach Collins. Just gets him. Woo!
Cooked him.
See ya, Zach. See you at the Peach Pit. Bye. Wow. Very nice there from Quinn Cook. Everybody loves Quinn Cook.
everybody loves Quinn. At number 7, it's Kawhi, fast breaking, slamming with the left. Yeah, does he grab it here with 2 hands? Maybe.
Just a little.
Just a touch.
The refs were behind the play. They didn't see it. Look at this, though. Another lefty. At number 6, get to some defense here in the conference finals. Giannis says no to Marc Gasol. Thought he had an easy one inside. No. He just falls on him.
Tough landing.
Letting him play. Erases that.
At number 5, Pascal Siakam has been doing the work defensively in the last few games, including on Brook Lopez.
In double overtime.
Yes. Still got the lungs.
Skying.
In 2 OT.
Huge.
45 seconds on the clock.
Back to the Blazers-Warriors series. Damian Lillard just folds McKinney in half here. Oh. This one's odd. Drops. Ugh.
Alfonso
Right.
McKinney.
And then the deep bomb there from Lillard.
At number 3, Eric Bledsoe gets it on the wing. He almost falls over, but he finds Giannis Antetokounmpo for the two-hander and one. You couldn't hear the whistle. It was so loud there in Milwaukee.
Yeah, and a hot start there to Game 5. Sort of had flashbacks to like Kyrie and LeBron playing the Raptors.
Oh, no!
I know. At number 2, Myers Leonard on Draymond Green. Oh, a little fast break action here. And then he just roars. Ah!
What a playoffs for the Leonard brothers, Kawhi and Myers.
Yeah, little known fact, they're twins. Ah!
Somewhere Joel Myers is smiling. At number 1, it's Kawhi's and one on Giannis Antetokounmpo, and he celebrates by limping away here in Game 4. What a beauty. Working it.
Grimacing immediately.
Not a bad top 10 for not having a whole bunch of games over the last week. They're bringing it. Stars are bringing it in the playoffs. When we come back, we got maybe a very solid play.
Oh, it's a good one.
Saturday night on TNT, Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals, the Raptors trying to close it out and book their tickets to the NBA Finals. Tass and I are flying home tomorrow to hopefully witness that in person, but the Bucks are going to do their best effort to try and give us a Game 7. Can't wait. All right, we asked you, what's the best walk-off interview? You hit us up on Twitter, #TheStarters. What do you got, Trey?
Some great answers, including the James Harden eye roll.
Yep.
Came from a walk-off interview. Also, Paul Pierce's iconic I Called Game interview. These are great. Anything is possible! Kevin Garnett winning the title with the Celtics. Skeets, this is your pick. Hito Turkoglu.
Oh.
But the best answer, no doubt. No offense to you guys. We going to Game 7, baby!
Yeah.
Doesn't count. Close enough. It was on the court.
Yeah, close. All right. We got a what the heck is
Oh,
this?
it's a bit of a different one here. Kawhi Leonard catches a one-handed pass, immediately pump fakes. It looked pretty cool in fast mo, but very cool in slow mo with the one-handed catch, the one-handed fake, and that's what I call a very cool catch. This is a full-size basketball.
Oh, man, got giant hands. Tiny feet, but giant hands. That's right. All right, we got the Drop Podcast. Had a blast. Talked East Finals, all NBA teams. And when listener wrote in to ask for help with NBA Wi-Fi puns, Tass delivered.
I came up with Victor Oladipo once upon a time.
It's good.
That's the best one I've ever done, and I'll never come up with anything better. But current day, when I fire up my NBA router wire, I do a Speedy Claxton check, establish my John Firewall, and go Kyrie surfing.
All right, go catch the Drop Podcast. That's it for us tonight. WNBA starts tonight. Game 6 tomorrow night. Stay hydrated.
Hydration before intoxication, everybody.
Brace the weekend, people.